Aloha, this is Santa Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Monday, July 21st, 2025. Oh my goodness, how are you all doing? Okay, I am just, it's crazy. I took a poll on which podcast you all wanted me to do, and it looks like I'm going to be doing the one on the swamp, and there's a lot more details to it than what we're seeing on the surface. So I'll dive into that in just a moment. I thank you so much for joining us on santasurfing.locals.com. Oh my goodness, it's a wonderful place to be. I took last week off for doing lives, and now I'll get back on doing lives on locals.com, and thank you for subscribing on x.com. In an effort to spend more time on getting more podcasts out, I have to limit my time on getting things published, so we are going to be putting out on YouTube. Always, we have a channel that sticks right now, so on YouTube, and then on Rumble, it seems to be coming out the next day just because there's some publishing issues on my end. Here, again, technical issues, but on YouTube, I'm able to get it out fast. And then on my radio stations, I'm eventually going to have it all just over here on YouTube and on Rumble. And then if you want to check out my social medias, check them out. There are some poser accounts out there, so that's why we have our social media accounts out here, so you could check which ones are actually mine. Okay, let me go ahead and dive right in. Oh man. I'll tell you, we have the kick butt president who is also the president for we the people. President Trump, he posted memes about Obama getting arrested in prison, and then the fake news goes freaking crazy. But the swamp runs really deep. Very deep. To the point where they are losing their marbles. But before I get started, I want to go over a few things, because last week on my most recent podcast, we were talking about, my last podcast was about declassified Obama treason news. Okay, Admiral Rogers truly saved our country by meeting with President Trump, and then how the EO 13818 it broke money wise the swamp. Assets were seized a long time ago. Lots and lots of information is in this article. I try to put these articles together again so you can go ahead and share it with your friends or just read it yourself. But Tulsi Gabbard, she went ahead and declassified. I'm emphasizing declassified because that pertains to this podcast I'm going to get into. Declassified all of the Obama Russia hoax. Okay, so it wasn't working, didn't stick, and Obama said, let's make it stick, let's make it happen. Conjured up something from vapor, from thin air, I will put it that way, and ran with it. A couple of things here. This is a great article right here on Rush Limbaugh talking about the scandal of a lifetime, Admiral Rogers, his important role and how he actually saved it. This is the article where it talks about, it was a little bit more of a deeper dive, a little bit over my head back then, but definitely not now, about what happened to the deep state, how President Trump talked about things, but the media didn't want to run with it. And why? Because they're involved. But this is the one that I wanted to highlight. President Trump is giving us, we don't have any more Q drops, right? Okay. But we are getting sneak peeks, meaning that President Trump is giving us a little, and he's doing this through President Trump at Real Donald Trump accounts, and also on his Illonado Pappy Trumpo account on X and all the other places. He's given us a lot of sneak peeks. Illonado does it in a humorous way. President Trump does it in a little bit more serious way. Although the Sunday he was a little bit like Illonado. Okay, so what he is doing, please follow what he's doing. He's giving us the playbook, guys. That's how I look at it. And when I say that, I've been watching, I've been reporting about President Trump for years now, and we watch the patterns of what happens, how he listens to you, how you say, we need this, we need that, we need A, B, C, D, and he responds with a truth post, an X post. And how he's also reposting your stuff on Truth, which is fantastic because he is looking out for you. We have never seen the past president, Loser Barry, do any of that. He was all about him, touting him, and maybe, reposting his husband, whatever it was. Okay, so then it talked about some Q deltas, about look for more direct confirmation. So let me go ahead and dive into that. Now, this one here, Dan Scavino, he's back. He's posting again. Yay! We were wondering, where is he? Is he on vacation? Has been posting for 10 days, and boom, on Q Day last Friday, he was posting again. But he had posted this. Good morning, Alaska. Now, this is on his business accounts, Scavino47. He posts on Dan Scavino and then Scavino47. But he posted about him landing on the ground in Alaska. Well, that was posted at 9:16 a.m. Eastern time. Hours later, look what happened. Alaska Airlines grounded every flight nationwide. Every flight was grounded. People were sitting in at the airport on the tarmac in their plane for hours and no movement, nothing, but no reason. There's no article as to why, right? Nothing, nada. Another comm that we have to be a little bit aware of is Anna Paulina Luna. She is posting, "Attention Florida, this is a real letter. If you have received it, please heed caution, be alert, and stay safe." A pretty interesting letter. So if you're in Florida, please listen. This is coming from the United States Army Operations Command Duty to Warn notification. Never heard of a notification like that. It's coming from the U.S. Army. This message is to inform you of a recent duty to warn notification regarding the potential terrorist threat targeting retired senior officials who previously served in the Department of Defense with roles in the Syria-Iraqi theater. The current geographic focus of the threat is Florida. While this threat does not directly target active duty USASOC personnel, we are issuing this notice to reinforce the importance of vigilance and situational awareness. We encourage all personnel to remain alert to their surroundings, both on and off post, and to report any suspicious activity to appropriate authorities. We respectfully request that you share this information with any retired military personnel you know who are currently residing in Florida. So can you please do that? You can click on this photo right here and it'll take you to her post. Encourage them to remain vigilant and to report any suspicious activity to local law enforcement. This notification serves as a reminder to adhere to established personnel security measures, including maintaining a heightened awareness of your surroundings, securing your residences, and reporting any unusual or concerning behavior to appropriate authorities. For further information to report suspicious activity, and then it says contact DACIDDACI, U.S. Army MP, or local law enforcement. Mark Katz. Now, if you are a civilian and you are seeing something, you see something, say something. I have been reporting the ICE stuff, all of that. I've been reporting them to ICE, ICE.gov, but I'm also reporting anything else that's a little bit like a odd threats to keep people that are on the America First MAGA movement. I'm reporting it to 45office.com contact page. 45office.com. Make it brief, make it short, no novel. They read millions of messages. Please send it by saying, and they don't take pictures or videos, they just take links. So drop what you can, make it brief, and then let President Trump's team do that. So see something, say something, please, just to be aware. Okay, so what happened is so the D class came out. Now remember, I emphasize D class because I was thinking, it's been declassified, right? Okay, well, I'll get to that in a moment. So a question, President Trump, he went into literally beast savage mode this Sunday. Now, maybe not the whole weekend, but definitely last night on Sunday. A question asked about why do the swamp people have declassified files open, meaning it is already been through an investigation, right? Route. It has already been set for criminal referral and an indictment of their crimes, yeah? But somehow the swamp gets a pass each and every time. So President Trump, he posted something, I'll share it in a moment. And then I said, hey, pay-per-view on a day. This is on his Illonado account. A day in a life on Loser Berry in Gitmo will make millions. Think about that. It could pay off the national debt. Hello, white hats. Just throwing that hint out there. Okay, boss. This is also what I added. I have a question. Why do these swamp monsters get an investigation process before getting arrested? You didn't have that treatment. They just went ahead and booked you and then threw you into trial. I'm going to say plural, trials. They didn't give you due process, and they did this knowing you were innocent. But they planted stuff. Obama's the opposite. He manufactured this treason and ran with the coup. But he gets an investigation, a criminal referral. So this is what I couldn't understand. If this dingbat loser Barry Obama, if he's got a file that's considered classified, right? Whether it's top, top secret, classified, secret, whatever. There's a classification on there. Then it's in this file. All the evidence is in that file, right? You with me? Then they declassify it. Doesn't that mean, okay, that means all the evidence, that means they've already gone through the investigations. Why do they have to investigate the same investigation? That's where I was going, okay? Because I was like, well, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. So I was asking a little bit from AI. Criminal document declassified. What is it? When you declassify something, is a document that doesn't automatically affect the legal status of a criminal or absolve them of I'm sorry, I went a little bit backwards. Sorry. What the meaning is, okay. A investigation is declassified. It means information related to the investigation which has been previously classified or restricted due to sensitivity has officially reviewed and cleared for public access. The process involves removing the classification status such as confidential, secret, top secret from the documents or data associated with the investigation, making them available to the public or specific individuals. Declass typically occurs when the information no longer poses a risk to national security. Listen to this. Has aged beyond a specific period, often 25 years or more, or when an authorized official determines that the public interest in disclosure outweighs the need for continued secrecy. It is a formal process that includes reviewing the content, making a decision to declassify, and then removing all classification markings and security designations from the material. In the context of investigation, declassification might allow the public or researchers to access details that were previously withheld, providing transparency and potentially offering insights into the processes, findings, or decisions made during the investigation. Now, stay with me. Who here... I'm sorry, I did so many searches. So what this is saying is that it's already been a case that's just had to stay kind of like off on the shelved, if you will. It's already gone through the process. So why do you need to go ahead and investigate declassify a document that's been classified, right? Why? I don't understand that. Okay, so then I asked a little bit more about the treason. Criminal document declassified of a document doesn't automatically affect the legal status of a criminal or absolve them of treason charges. Treason is defined as levying war against the United States. Or providing aid and comfort to its enemies. It requires overt acts to be proven in court. If classified information was involved in the commission of treason, the declass of that information does not negate whatever the act itself or the intent behind it. Even if the document is declassified, the individual can still be prosecuted for any actions taken while the information was classified. That's the part I wanted you to hear. The individual can still be prosecuted for any actions taken while the information was classified. The act of disclosing or mishandling classified information, especially if it were done knowingly and willfully, can lead to charges under the statutes 18 U.S.C. 798, which deals with the disclosure of classified documents. Declass may impact the handling of evidence or the sensitivity of information used in trial, but it does not erase the fact that the individual committed an act of treason when the information was still classified. Okay? Therefore, the criminal consequences for treason, including imprisonment or even death penalty, remain applicable depending on the severity of the act or the court's discretion. Well, for those of you that want the proof, that want the receipts, this happened on the resident house plan, Bumblehead Biden's fake inauguration. And this is posted by D-Man72, says, I'm old enough to remember when Barry turned into a hot dog midstream. Okay, so this is what happened. Here he is on camera, okay? He's in front of a post, supposedly the media. Look at this. Check this out.
One of my fondest memories of the inauguration was the grace and generosity that not just listen to folks one of my fondest memories of the inauguration was
Where did he go? He pulled a Pope, right? Hello, bye. Okay, and he behind him, he's so sick. He's such a freak. He posted behind him, and that was a CGI, was a hot dog. He's just a sick, and that was, again, That tells you that is not this Obama was not, this was a hologram, okay? It was just an imaginary dude on camera trying to say something, and it purposely had a glitch. Yeah, so many people say, well, you say that they've all been dealt with. They have. The big name players have already been dealt with. They can't be out there in the streets. President Trump could not ever even sign the OBB bill with those weirdos out there on the streets. But it has to be for the optics for that those way in the back of the classroom. Hello, they will wake up. Where were yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. My girlfriend called and I said, man, I'm in fight mode. Man, I'm ready to, because the trolls were hitting hard and all of a sudden they were radio silent Friday afternoon. Hello, you could hear a pin drop. Where were they? What happened, right? So they were bye-bye, they were gone. So that kind of gives you an understanding of how declassification works. So moments after I posted that, man, I'll tell you, this is the people's president. I absolutely respect, love you, President Trump, and I love the fact that you went into beast mode last night. This is from President Trump's official account on Truth, okay? He dropped bombs. He posted this one. Okay, so he was just trying to give people an idea of what will be coming. Democrats and Obama screaming, no one is above the law. This is a really, really big post. Check this out. So just kind of let you know, I'm putting this under a thread reader link so you could share it with others. But it's also easy for me to have it posted on all the other social media sites because X is the only place that will allow this to happen. So this is really powerful. So what it is I put a thread together, and this one has 11 tweets in it. And then it tells you it's only a 4-minute read, but the clips in here make it a little bit longer. So he has here, but you can also, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, I'm really going squirrel, can you tell? Okay, so President Trump, he dropped a lot of hints, and I want to thank you so much, President Trump, and if it's the Trump team listening, thank you very much. Mahalo. This is what he posted, and it is very big. Check this out.
No one, especially the president, is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Can you believe that? Now, the second part of this I'm going to play in a moment because it kind of ties into the thumbnail post or picture I have on my podcast, but he even has Pepe. Okay, he's posting a Pepe in his "No One Is Above the Law" post. I think that's fantastic. He is giving a shout out to the Anons. $3 billion go. If you take a calculator, it is well over $1 billion for every single day from the time that President Trump won the election back in November to January 20th of 2025. Where did it go? Those people are going to get caught. So that's why President Trump put that out there. He's saying, I know, I'm on to you. President Trump knows everything. These thieves, these crooks that take our tax dollars, they take our money and go do whatever they need to do. Don't you think that Space Force has detected where they are? Heck yeah. And then President Trump, he posted an anonymous, okay? This is the typical anonymous face that we see, and he's breaking down the Obama treason crime as revealed as the biggest scandal ever. Whenever you have time, you could take a look at this, but he is posting an anonymous, and it pretty much sums up what we were talking about in my last podcast. And for those of us that forgot about this, maybe didn't even know about that it even existed, this is the Inspector General report. The full report is right here on James Comey, and this date on this report is in August of 2019. Again, they had the report. President Trump was probably told, you can't release it. You can't release it right now. It has to be at the right time. They needed the 4 years that he was not the public eye president to do a massive amount of cleaning up and negotiating deals, right? If he was in the public eye, the media would have been slamming him. So they had the puppet out there. But more importantly, it's what President Trump is going to be doing to make up for a lot of stuff that the corrupt governments have done. And then President Trump, he retruth this meme. And again, memes matter, but a meme. Until this happens, which is a bunch of men in suits, all handcuffed, then it says in the bottom, nothing will change. President Trump went ahead and retruth that. Now they're all men standing in front of the Capitol building as well. Then he posted this. How did Samantha Power make all that money? He is called the Shady Bunch. So he's got Samantha Power, Susan Rice, Valerie Jarrett, James Clapper, James Comey, John Brennan, Loser Barry, and then Ben Rose. Ben Hamas Rose. He puts his middle name in there, Hamas, right? The Shady Bunch. Again, a lot of these people, they made money on the side because they were snitches, they were doing whatever, covert, dirty operations, working for who? Did all these people, is he implying that they all committed treason, right? We know this dude right here, Wally and Comey and Clapper, they're in trouble. They're listed in the, Susan Rice is also in trouble, Sally Yates as well. They are all, and then Valerie Jarrett, she was actually the brains behind Loser Barry. And so, and she's a bad dude, bad dude. Okay, so so he's calling out Samantha Power. And he posted this, America's decline is over. All right, so that is done, right? We do not have to worry. And that will be in my crypto podcast because, oh my gosh, it's so massive. And then President Trump, he posted this, winning, it's a quote by him, winning is important, but survival is even more important. If you don't survive, you don't get to fight the next battle, meaning we're going to have another battle ahead. And you know that for sure, because especially if things start to drop, files start to come released, declassified situations actually happen, come to fruition, to some of these memes, the other meme I'll share with you. This is where it's going to get really, it's going to be very, very rewarding for us because we work so hard to get here, but it's going to be very scary at the same time because we know how the left plays. Just to let you know, the left is putting out videos right now, and I just saw one, and I'm like, oh man, you know what? I don't know how you guys can believe this, but they're actually, it's almost like they're sending a comm to their cronies, their dirty cronies. It's one on a Air Force One had a plane crash, and Trump was on the plane, and I'm thinking that's not true. Come on, you guys believe that? But those kind of videos, I've had a lot of people drop me a lot of different types of video clips. And is that what they are doing? The left is doing, trying to take your joy away. And that video got shared on Twitter, I don't know, thousands of times. And I'm thinking, don't you guys do a little bit of, just check one more time, vet that, check one more time and see. And there was no news on it, but my point is that they will put disinformation out there to take your hopes, and their video, that video was really well done, but was it sending a message and a comm, and it was driving me crazy. Okay, so then President Trump through Illonado posted this, and it wraps up. This part right here was the one part that I didn't show earlier, but it kind of wraps things up for you. Check this out.
No one, especially the president, is above the law.
A few moments later.
Oh my gosh.
No one.
News media, they went freaking ballistic, man. They were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the president of the United States is actually doing this here and posting this. My buddy Obama is in jail with Bubba getting massages, and Obama's, oh, he shouldn't be crying. He's probably used to it. But anyway, he's sitting there crying. Guys, this is a wake-up call for people that are very new to the movement. They're going to say, oh my gosh, President Trump, he's a lot of fun. He's a kick-butt president. But also he is putting out the truth. And again, doing it in a very humorous way, but but it's getting the point across. We are seeing so many Trump and Trump team proofs that the connections are beginning to happen more and more. So just armor up, guys, because we got a battle ahead, because we know the Federal Reserve, they're going to go bye-bye because crypto is going to dominate, or gold's going to dominate. The Fed will no longer be needed. So they'll be pushing for that. There's going to be pushing for many things that they don't want to have happen. But this delta for today ends with, so I look at these deltas, it's the month and the day, and it's talking about AG bar on to all classified material. How does Mueller navigate? I'm going to go down here. Be ready, Mueller. Right? Be ready, JC, James Comey. Be ready, traders one and all. Thank you for playing. FISA goes both ways. Q is thanking the crooks for playing along, for continuing to do their stupid things that they continue to do, and they're still doing today. Their minions are doing it today, or their handlers are doing it today. Thank you for playing, because it trapped each one of them. Their names that will be coming out, I don't know if all the names will be coming out, but it will shock everybody on both sides of the aisle, whether you're left, right, independent, no party, whatever. It will shock a lot of people. So let's just see what President Trump's got in store. Then, if you just like brief reads, because you have a very busy day at work, at home, whatever you're doing, you can click on here. It says other threads of dot connections, and there's Thread Reader keeps a library of them. So sometimes I just don't want to put out 12 separate posts, so I just put it all on a thread. But it goes back to the military. Actually, it was the Christmas season. Here we go. Okay, so the military taking over. Okay, in terms of the military parade, here we go, June 18th. How DC had how they caved, if you will, the unconditional surrender. Yeah, storm is coming. Most entertaining outcome, the magnitude of the moves of Commander Donald J. Trump. And again, a lot of these are President Trump's truths or posts. It's hammer time. Epstein is a toad compared to the swamp behind the whole trafficking. Again, Epstein's going to take down governments, monarchies, bigger names, all blah, blah, blah. President he's dropping boom comms. Is there smoking guns? So he's giving us rabbit holes to go down, because he knows that's how we are wired. It's like if we see something organically, we're like, okay, there's got to be a little digging to that, right? He could say, hi, have a nice day. We'll all decode that into 6 ways to 1, right? But this is where President Trump, through Illonado, he says, we made it, chat. Some headlines from the fake news liberal media. Donald Trump posts AI video of Obama's arrest. No one is above the law. Okay, come on, you guys. They had to, those were kind of fun to watch, right? Because you're like, okay, is that really what's going to happen? Heck yeah, it probably already did happen. Trump posts fake video showing Obama arrest. Trump envisions jailing Obama as Tulsi Gabbard threatens prosecution. So it's just fun to watch. But remember, some people are saying, well, those are just memes. That's the hair splitters. Okay, I don't know if they're real MAGA, fake MAGA, liberals. I don't even think they know. Anyway, I call them the hair splitters. They're the ones that take lead thing. You could say, "Oh wow, the sky is blue." They're gonna go, "No, actually, it's more of a magenta blue, or it's more of a." And you're going, "Oh my gosh, it's blue." All right, so that's what I'm talking about. So they were like, "Well, those are just memes. Those are just AI generated." Yeah. What do you think you guys have been doing? You guys have been putting out fake news. That's worse than a meme. You put it. Marketed with your headline, Huffington Post, whatever, IamFakeNews.com, or Fake News Times, they have their media presence, their millions of, if not billions of dollars backed up. Those are worse than memes. Then they post all this fake stuff. Isn't that, again, wrong information? Oh, sure. I sure hope they get defunded, all of them. Okay, memes do matter, though. Okay, think about this. Remember how Q always says, meme, you can look at here, Q posts on memes, how important they are. Memes matter. Boss posted a meme video of Obama getting arrested and fake news is losing their blank, right? Memes have beaten the system. Think about that. Your memes look in the mirror and say, man, you rock, okay? Memes took down the deep state. Memes are making a big difference. Memes taking down the system, taking down the Federal Reserve. How massive is that? Bunch of frogs did that, right? So it's all because of you. Again, President Trump, he needed you. Now, when I was recording this podcast, this came out. President Trump, he was saying, We are also looking into Hillary Clinton's emails. Okay, that's a nice surprise too. Guys, we've been screaming about this since 2016. So here we are many years later, 8 years later, and now they're finally coming out. This was the debate where President Trump won me over. This is because I was in the middle. I was like, I can't be a Democrat anymore, but I don't know about President Trump. And then I heard this, and he said something earlier in the same debate. He goes, I know balance sheets. I'm like, okay, he's got my vote. And then he said this.
Fact check him in real time. Last time at the first debate, we had millions of people fact checking. So I expect we'll have millions more fact checking because, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Well, I was new, so I didn't really get a chance to celebrate with you guys. But man, I can imagine diehard Trump supporters back in 2016 listening to this debate going, dang, dang. And you told your 20 friends and they were watching. You guys had a we'd be in jail party, right? That's how big this was. And look what's going on. He has taken them down. Again, he did this with the help of the grace of God and the help of you. Then he posted this. Yes, they raided Mar-a-Lago to steal the intel I had on them. You think I would keep that stuff next to my underwear? Okay, so Jack Smith, he's not off the hook. Yeah, so these people are so stupid. Jack Smith's probably looking in there. I mean, come on, they went into Barron Trump's room to look for stuff. They planted stuff as well. So these guys, these crooks, they're in for some trouble. Q post 3971. And the frogs to destroy them. What does that mean? If you're new to the movement, QAnon or Q and Anons. So there's no QAnon, but there's Q post and Anons, us. The Anons, we are known as a bunch of Pepe frogs, right? So that's why and frogs to destroy them is also from the Bible. This is all biblical. Guys, everything is going to be so just incredibly biblical. Tomorrow, there is a Delta for tomorrow, July 22nd. In reality, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in their way. So we know that many big things that President Trump, he's going to be making a signing this afternoon for the Clarity Act and the anti-CBDC. So he knows that gold destroys the Federal Reserve, but so does crypto. And that would be on my next podcast, because the battles ahead will try to prevent crypto from dominating the world, because when that happens, the Federal Reserve and all of those central banks will go absolutely bonkers. Now, many of them are adopting begrudgingly, but they also, and I want to really go over this because this is going to be life-changing, and I had a chance to really kind of put it together in my head and just say, okay, this is really what's going on. So it's big news. And then there's some additional information I'd like to give on that as well. I'll be recording that podcast 2 hours after I publish this one. Okay, I need a little break. But this is just incredible. Just embrace these moments, guys. This is going to be so incredible of what is to come. Yes, you want to see some of the justice, but I ask you, does that justice? Yes, I know some of the justice stuff, it is important to see, because once they fall, then those dominoes fall, and then it will help benefit you. And there's certain files that I'm just like, but those aren't going to benefit us at all. But you get somebody like a past president like Loser Barry to fall, or you get past Secretary of State to fall, because they were using our tax dollars and they were doing bad things. But how does it affect us, right? How will all of that justice affect us going forward? We'll never have a president like Loser Barry, Joe Biden, George Bush, both of the Bushes, Bill Clinton. We won't have any of those dirty, corrupt types of presidents ever again. I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is the 6 months of winning video to recap and close this podcast out. But thank you for waiting for this podcast. Have yourself a beautiful, awesome, fantastic day. And I will have another podcast, hopefully by tonight. God bless you all. Aloha.
We are 6 months into the second Trump White House, and the president is saying we are winning. Tariff revenues at record highs. A fresh round of Trump tax cuts is now hitting American wallets. The border's more secure. Iran has been neutralized. Even egg prices are down. You know it's going well when the Washington Post is starting to admit Trump's been on an amazing run.